So, a lot of people say that LLM technology or generative AI is just a glorified uh, sentence completion engine. But based on what I've seen, it's really more than that. And I think this would be an interesting test to see whether LLMs really understand humor and implied meaning in text. So, for those of you who have kids, you might have heard of the book "The Day That the Day the Crayons Quit," and the sequel "The Day the Crayons Came Home." It's a really cute, witty, and funny picture book about this little boy called Duncan who treated his crayons really badly. He left them all over the place, in the couch, under the fridge, and they melted and broke. And so the book is just a series of letters from each of the crayons, telling Duncan what happened to them and then asking him to bring them home. And so what I want to do is just to feed ChatGPT the text of the book and then ask it some questions to see if it understands some of the double meanings and the implied connotations. And secondly, whether it can learn how to write in this style and produce more letters from more crayons that I give it, and whether it can also create funny, witty uh, writing with double meanings. So here we go. For those of you who have not seen the book, it's a New York Times bestseller. It's really cute. So let's just scroll on. I'll just read you one example just so you have a bit of a feel for what the letters are. So this one is from Maroon Crayon. Dear Duncan, not sure if you remember me. My name is Maroon Crayon. You only colored with me once to draw a scab, but whatever. Anyway, you lost me 2 years ago in the couch. Then your dad sat on me and broke me in half. I never would have survived had Paperclip not nursed me back to health. I'm finally better, so come get me. And can Paperclip come too? He's really holding me together. Sincerely, your marooned crayon. Maroon crayon. You can see that's like kind of got some double meanings and kind of funny and delightful. So here, if we come to ChatGPT, I've prepared a prompt in advance where we're going to tell ChatGPT, you are a children's author of a book called The Day the Crayons Came Home. Each page is a letter written by a crayon to a little boy called Duncan. The letters are funny, uses words that have double meanings, witty and short. Here are some pages for your reference. Let's see, each letter. Okay, so here I have the one from Maroon Crayon that we just read, and then it goes on to pea green crayon, neon red crayon, yellow and orange crayon, tan crayon, and so on. Let me just read you one more. So this last one is from Brown Crayon. Hello, Duncan. It's me, Brown Crayon. You know exactly why I ran away, buddy. Everyone thinks I get all the great coloring jobs. Chocolate, puppies, ponies. Lucky me, right? Bet they don't know what else you used me to color, do they? I didn't think so. The rest of that drawing was great, but did it really need that final brown scribble? I'll come back, but please let's stick to chocolate, okay? Your very embarrassed friend, Brown Crayon. So Brown Crayon's letter wasn't really explicit about what brown scribble is. But I'm curious to see if ChatGPT understands this. So let's feed that in. Okay, I think it's gonna, let's see. All right, so it already started to write more letters even though I didn't ask it to. So let's ask him about Brown Crayon. In the letter that Brown Crayon wrote, he referred to a brown scribble. What is the brown scribble? In the context of this imaginative and funny children's story, the exact nature of the brown scribble that the brown crayon mentions is not specified. This is an example of the humor and the use of innuendo in the story. It's suggesting that the brown crayon was used to color something embarrassing or not desirable, but the specific detail is left to the imagination of the readers. This type of suggestion encourages the children to engage their own creativity and speculation. It could be anything that a child might find funny to color brown. Well, first of all, I think it's pretty interesting that it knows that it's supposed to be funny and there's implied meaning. If you had to make a guess, what do you think the brown scribble is? Thinking. Given the humorous and playful nature of these letters, it's possible that Duncan might have used the brown crayon to draw something that's typically considered unpleasant or embarrassing in a child's world. A common example could be poop, as bathroom humor is often found funny by children. This could explain why the brown crayon is so embarrassed and asked to be used for coloring more agreeable things like chocolate, puppies, and ponies. But remember, this is just an interpretation. The actual intent is left vague and up to the reader's imagination. So here GPT really did understand some of the implied meaning within this letter, which I find to be absolutely fascinating. So let's now ask ChatGPT to continue the book and write some more letters. Can you use the same humorous style with innuendos to write more letters? Please write one from white crayon, silver crayon, and what else? Invisible crayon. From white crayon. Hey Duncan, it's your old friend, white crayon. I bet you barely recognize me, right? Well, who can blame you? After all, every time you used me on white paper, I disappeared like a ghost. 1 minute I'm there in your hand and the next minute, poof, gone, vanished, just like my self-esteem. To be honest, but you know what? I still have hopes. Maybe one day you'll find a nice dark piece of construction paper and remember me. Until then, I'll just be here, hiding in plain sight. Sincerely, your invisible friend, White Crayon. That's pretty cute. Let's see. Silver Crayon. Hi there, Duncan. It's Silver Crayon. You remember me, don't you? The star of all of your alien spaceship drawings. Yeah, that's me. But hey, remember when you thought it'd be funny to make your family's car look futuristic? Yeah, that didn't wash off, did it? I may be all about the glam and glitz, but let's keep it on paper, okay? Oh, that's cute. It's talking about how Duncan used the crayon to draw on the actual family car. That's actually pretty humorous. Your sparklingly silver crayon. Okay, third one. From Invisible Crayon. Dear Duncan, this is your invisible crayon. Or is it? Because I can't even tell anymore. You used me to write secret messages that you'd forget about 2 minutes later. And do you know how it feels to be left on the sidewalk? At least I think it was the sidewalk. It's hard to tell when you're invisible. So if you could kindly remember where you last left me, that'd be great. Invisibly yours, Invisible Crayon. It is really cute. It's probably not quite at the same level as the original author, but I'd say ChatGPT has a pretty decent sense of humor.